Hey, Coachella Valley, and welcome to Live with your Chamber of Commerce. My name is Katie Stice, CEO at the Rancho Mirage Chamber, and this video series has been a pleasure to bring to you, whether we're talking about getting tested from Supervisor Perez, introducing you to local businesses and how you as the community can support them, or introducing you to nonprofit organizations that provide incredible services to our valley. And that's what we're going to be doing today. Our guest today is Ricardo Loretta. He is Executive Director of the Dr. Carreon Foundation, and he is immediate past district governor for Rotary. And that is a huge job as well. We're going to talk to him a little bit about both. And if you're watching this, I'd love for you to put in the comments where you're watching from and give Ricardo a little hello if you know him as well. Let's bring him in. Hey, Ricardo, how are you today?
I'm doing very, very well. It's good to see you, Katie.
You too. And I know you already have a ton of fans out there. We're going to see lots of comments because you're so involved in this community in a multitude of ways. And so we want to thank you, of course, for your leadership and your service. But for anyone who's out there who maybe has heard of the Dr. Carreon Foundation, but isn't sure exactly what it is or what it does, fill us in a little bit.
Well, thank you very much for this opportunity, and thank you for everything you're doing at the Chamber. I think that this is a very valuable service that you provide. I hadn't heard of the Dr. Carreon Foundation when I first moved to the Coachella Valley in 2004 for the first 5 or 6 years that I was here. So it was somewhat of a well-kept secret. And unfortunately, so is Rotary, even yet today. So part of what we're doing with the Dr. Carreon Foundation is an awareness campaign because of the good things that the foundation provides. In 1991, Dr. Reynaldo Carreon, an ophthalmologist who had a practice here in Indio, and had done all kinds of philanthropic activities, formed a foundation to provide for resources to assist youth of Hispanic origin with resources for their post-high school education. Most often that was college. And in that period of time, in the intervening years since 1991, the foundation has awarded $1.7 million in scholarships to over 700 boys and girls, and they have been able to go to colleges across the country. In many cases, of course, it's to Cal State University, Palm Desert campus here locally, as well as the COD. And we're so proud of what these awardees have been able to accomplish, because the Hispanic family unit is very, very important. And most of our awardees tend to come back to the community if they do leave for college and become very active and important contributors to our community, such as Dr. Raul Ruiz, who was one of the early graduates that from Coachella Valley High School that the Dr. Carreon Foundation helped when he was going to UCLA.
And for anybody who's out there, for all of our viewers who are out there watching, that is our Congressman Raul Ruiz, who he's referring to. So when Ricardo talks about, these, scholarship funds going to students and the students coming back and giving back, that is a prime example. That is a huge, huge example of someone coming back and giving back in a huge way. Amazing.
Now, Dr. Carreon passed on shortly after the foundation was established, and for many years the level of scholarship giving was somewhat modest because We wanted to make sure that the resources weren't depleted. But then we had a very fortunate event occur the year 2008, 2009, and that's when an organization was formed here, which is now called One Future Coachella Valley. And it's sort of an umbrella organization that guides scholarship givers, not just the Dr. Carreon Foundation, although we were one of the founding members of the One Future Coachella Valley organization. But so was College of the Desert, so was Boys and Girls Club, and a few others who give scholarships. And working with One Future Coachella Valley, we've been able to leverage our resources. We've been able to professionalize, you might say, the way that the college-going process works. And so we've been blessed to have as partners One Future Coachella Valley. Okay. And through the partnership with them, we've been able to develop even additional partnerships. One of them happens to be with Rotary. Yep. You see, many organizations and individuals in our community are interested in doing everything possible to help our youth. And so there are many other organizations besides ourselves who, in one way or another, extend scholarship assistance to high school graduates. Now, what we found out is that if you work with us, and then we work with One Future Coachella Valley, $1 that you invest with us becomes $3. Said another way, $500 becomes $1,500. And that has been a formula that has allowed us to dramatically increase the impact that we have every year, so that this past year, even in the face of coronavirus, we were able to help 63 students with about $150,000 worth of scholarships.
Amazing.
And what we're really happy about is that our cohort of students, Hispanic youth of limited means, but highly qualified academically and in many other ways, they tend to graduate college at a rate that is about 10 points higher than the regular scholarship programs out there. And that's because our students are bound and determined to get that education. So talk about a feel-good program. I get goosebumps even talking about it.
Well, and you know, the impact that you've had on so many lives and that ripple effect into the community is, I mean, it's immeasurable. And so we just thank you so much for all that you do and all that you have done with the foundation. You've just taken it to a whole other level. And it's so great to have you here telling these stories. For those people maybe who are out there who don't know you, do you want to tell us a little bit about your background? Because I'm sure everyone who's watching can see that his name says Ricardo Taco Loretta. And if you know Ricardo, that's kind of his nickname. But do you want to tell folks a little bit about yourself before we talk about
I'm a product of a family, 2 orphans, mom and dad both, went to Mexico early in their careers. And I was raised in Mexico, old Mexico, not New Mexico. And I have 6 brothers and sisters, all younger than I am, that were born there. And so Mexico and Spanish are native to us. Spanish was my first language. I can relate to the people that we're helping in the Dr. Carreon Foundation, and for that matter, many of the people that we work with in Rotary as well. But I was raised in Mexico and then came to the United States for college. Met my lovely wife, Jennifer, and we've now been married 6 years, believe it or not.
Congratulations.
And so we've moved 18 or 19 or 23 times. She's not listening right now, otherwise she'd
She'd
correct
let
me.
you know.
But that includes stints in Mexico itself, in Brazil, San Diego, and Michigan. And the one thing that I have had a passion for all of my life is education and youth. And so whether it's working with children when they're playing Little League baseball or in Boy Scouts or in schools, I've been involved with school boards as my three sons were going through the educational process in Michigan, in Brazil, in Mexico. And so the Dr. Carreon Foundation was a godsend to me as I went into semi-retirement and found out that here is an organization that does everything that I love and everything that I believe in.
It's a match made in heaven, to
to
really be honest. And just so you know, you're getting all kinds of great hellos and people waving and little icons flying all over the place, because you're so well known in the community. And someone even put, my friend Gloria used to be a part of the foundation, and she raved about being a part of it. It really is part of the fabric of our valley. And like I said, you've just really taken it to the next level, and your service in the community is appreciated. And for those of you who are out there watching, Ricardo not only runs this incredible foundation that helps and serves so many, but Ricardo was also the past district governor for Rotary, and that is a huge job. Tell us a little bit about your experience with Rotary, and maybe if there's someone out there who's interested in getting involved, what they might experience.
Thank you very much, and I'm glad that you've joined Rotary and are a happy member of the Rancho Mirage Rotary Club. Rotary is an amazing organization. It's 115 years old. It is in more countries than the United Nations has. It has 36,000 clubs, believe it or not. And it's organized into districts. There's 530 districts around the world, 250 in the United States. Our Rotary clubs in the Coachella Valley are part of a district which is called District 5330. It has 60 clubs ranging from Temecula to Big Bear, all the way across to Yucca Valley and 29 Palms. And down here in the Coachella Valley, we have 15 clubs. So there's 60 clubs and about 2,200 members. And I was district governor a year and a half ago, and then served out my successor's term because she unfortunately passed on from cancer. So I was governor in two different Rotary years. And the main thing that we do is provide humanitarian help. So in a lot of different areas. Now there's 15 clubs in the Coachella Valley, from Desert Hot Springs and Palm Springs all the way out to Coachella. And the nice thing about Rotary is that you don't join and say, okay, now what do I do? What do you do? You can come in and say, I joined Rotary because I'd like to do this, and you can create your own project, and it's your thing to do.
I love that you're pointing that out. Right now, Rancho Mirage Rotary is working, we're calling it Socktober, where we're collecting new socks and we're going to deliver them to the Coachella Valley Rescue Mission. And those will go out to folks in need, especially in the winter, right? The fall and the winter seasons when it gets really cold. But that idea, that concept, which we love being a part of, came from a Rotarian who said, hey, the rescue mission has this event. Let's hop on and help the cause. So that's a beautiful thing about Rotary, is helping the community, but also helping to find the needs in the community, rallying your group and the community around serving that need at the end of the day.
I might want to, I'd like to mention that my club is Palm Desert Rotary that meets at noon on Tuesdays. And one of the things that we developed was an Angels of Service program, because we said, where's the biggest need right now? And you know what we found? It's food. There are people that are hungry because there's no lunch program that the schools usually provide, not the same as it used to be, because there's people that are unemployed. I mean, there are people who are hungry. And that's why the food pantries, whether it's Salvation Army or Food Now or St. Margaret's Church or
Fine Food
Kitchen, all these others have an increased demand for their product, which is food. And so our Rotary Club said, you know what? Why don't we take up periodic collections of money, go buy food and take it to the food pantries?
Yes.
Just 2 days ago, we did our 4th distribution. That one was up in Desert Hot Springs to Food Now.
Yep, they're wonderful.
And this is something that we can get engaged with, and you can see the help that you are providing people. And it does not pay.
Yeah, and it's so powerful. And if I can add on to it, I'm so happy and proud that you saw that need right now and addressed it, because the calls we get lately at the chamber are from folks who have used to donate to the food banks, but call and say, now I am out of work. I used to donate to them, and now I need to go get food. Do I need to show a proof of unemployment or, the need? And we tell them, nope, no questions asked, just go. But the need really is significant. Food poverty is becoming a bigger and bigger issue for the Valley. So for anyone who's out there watching and you are in a position to be able to help, whether it's a little bit like I do or a lot, you can become a Rotarian or support your local Rotary clubs, not just through this time, but even after this time. And one of the other things that you might want to tell folks about the relationship between Rotary and polio.
Well, the polio, of course, has been a scourge that was taking out hundreds of thousands of youth every year. And in the mid-1980s, Rotary decided that it was going to embark on a campaign to eradicate polio. And we're almost there, because there's 2 countries that have been stubborn in the sense that they're tough to get into and work with the authorities, but that's Pakistan and Afghanistan. And we have managed to eradicate polio from all of Africa, all of the Far East, India, which was a horrible place, obviously the United States, all of Latin America. Just 2 countries remain, and we are bound and determined to eliminate polio. We're hoping that gets accomplished very, very soon. Yep. We don't know exactly when, but there's a lot of work that goes into that. We're very proud of what we've been able to do.
Well, and you should be. And as our interview comes to a close, I again just want to thank you for your leadership. You may not know that you are a mentor to many folks like myself all throughout the Valley and beyond because of your service and your work in the community. We watch what you do. We watch how you do it, your passion for it, the way that you speak and support the community. And there's a lot of us who are trying to walk in your footsteps and become great Rotarians too.
Oh, you're very sweet. Obviously, I appreciate the work that you do too. And I couldn't be any happier. And obviously, none of us are happy with the coronavirus challenge that we're faced with, but we'll get past it, I'm sure.
Absolutely. Well, Ricardo, thank you for joining us today. Thank you for leading the Dr. Carreon Foundation into such great position in the community to help others. And thank you also for being a phenomenal Rotarian. For everyone who's out there watching, we're going to put both links down below so that you can check out Rotary and the foundation, learn more about the community. And definitely, if you don't know Ricardo, when we have gatherings again, you'll see him at lots of chamber events and Rotary events. So be sure to say hello. Thank you again for joining us today, Ricardo.
Thank you. We'll be in touch.
All right. See you soon. And thank you for joining us today. That is what I love about this series, is bringing some of our amazing community members and their stories right to you. We started this series because, you know, folks were at home wanting to support nonprofits, wanting to support businesses, wanting to learn more. And this was the best avenue that I could come up with in order to bring that to you. And thanks for all of the great comments. We love it. Thank you, Chris Clemens. I appreciate all of your great words. We look forward to seeing you again next time on Live with your Chamber of Commerce. If there is a way that I can help you professionally or your business, please don't hesitate to reach out. That's why we're here. Please wear your mask, social distance. Let's do what we can to help safely reopen our economy again. We'll see you guys next time. Thanks.